Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by today. I hope you're all doing very well today. And I wanted to talk to you today about my Wooble journey and kind of give you my Wooble testimony, if you want to call it that. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope this video is informative for people who are wondering about the Woobles and also who are curious of why I'm doing so many woobles. So let me share my story with you guys so you can understand that. So I've been crocheting since 2019, which is not a super long time, but I picked it up really easy and I just ran with it. And I just been crocheting, almost every day since then, except in extreme sicknesses and surgeries and things like that. Other than that, I crochet all the time, and I enjoy it. It is a love of mine to crochet. I really enjoy it so much, and I know a lot of you guys do too. But what had happened with me was I have Raynaud's in my hand, and so you can see I'm missing 7 fingers, 4 on this hand and 3 on this hand. The last finger I had removed was the middle finger on this hand. And so after I had that removed, my crocheting changed all the way. It really just changed up. But let me just back up and tell you something, how I even discovered the Woobles. So I guess the Woobles had come out, I don't know when, but I was seeing advertisements for it. I didn't know anybody who had done the Woobles because I hadn't seen any like YouTube videos, but they had been out a good while because I had seen advertisements and I just, ignored them because it said it was for beginners to learn to crochet, and I already knew how to crochet, so I didn't need that. And so I never looked at it. I didn't even look into it, not one bit. I just ignored it. And then one day I was in Walmart and I saw the kits, and they had several different ones, like a fox, a penguin, the dinosaur. Seems like they had 4 different ones, and a bear, yeah. And so I picked the fox. I said, I'm going to get one of these and just, crochet it up for my channel and give a review on it and just talk about the Wooble kits, There's probably somebody out there wanting to know information about how to learn to crochet and stuff. And so I thought it would be a great video. So I picked that up, and then I eventually got around to doing a video on it. And I did. I opened the kit. Everything was there that, to crochet the kit. Like I didn't have to go searching around my house for anything. Everything was in the kit and ready to go. All I had to do was put the code in that's inside the kit into my computer, pull up the pattern, and start crocheting. And so you can also print that pattern out if that's what you want to do. My preferred way, because I do have vision issues, is to pull it up on my computer screen, hit that plus sign a bunch of times to make the print very large, and then I don't have to strain to see it. I can just read it easily. So I did. I worked that up, crocheted the little fox. He turned out adorable. He did. He turned out so cute. And so I went on about my business, crocheting with my regular full weight yarn and stuff like that. But I was having so much trouble because once I lost that middle finger, I have Raynaud's, and so that's what's happened to my fingers. I don't know if I said that a few minutes ago, but I've lost, 7 fingers because of Raynaud's. And I lost this finger here. It changed up the whole way that I crocheted. Then I only had this pinky and this thumb. I had to hold my project plus hold my yarn that I'm crocheting with, right? And try to hold the tension tight enough to crochet. And it looked decent, okay? Because if you don't have your tension, tight enough, if it's just loosey-goosey, that if that loop on your hook is just loosey-goosey, then you've got these big old humongous gaps in your project. Okay, so my problem was I was crocheting, and if I was working on a little project, say it was 30, I was working in the round, and say it was 30 stitches on that row in the round, I might be crocheting 90 stitches just to get those 30 stitches. And that's no exaggeration, because every time I'd crochet, my yarn would split, and I'd pull it out, redo it, it'd split, pull it out, redo it. And I was doing that over and over and over. I very seldom got a stitch on the first try. Once in a while, but not often. Most of the time, I was doing each stitch 3, 4, 5 times, sometimes more. It was crazy frustrating. And let me just say, in my life, I have chronic illness, and my hands being the way they are, I'm on a feeding tube, hooked to a feeding pump, and there's a lot of things in day-to-day life are very difficult for me and very frustrating, because I just want to do things and just do it, and I have trouble doing very simple tasks around the house and for myself. And so crocheting and it being that frustrating, where I'm, doing the same stitch 4 or 5 times before I can move on to the next stitch. So frustrating. I started to dread crocheting because it was not enjoyable. I was hating to crochet because it was so frustrating, and I didn't need anything else frustrating in my life. And so in my head, I was thinking, I just don't know how much longer I can do this, because it is so frustrating. I'm not enjoying it. It's just, I'm doing it as a chore now. And so I was really thinking about just giving up crochet, because, yeah, I started to hate it. Okay. And then I thought about that tube yarn that was in that Woobles kit. It doesn't split because it's a tube. There's no way it can split. Okay. And so, and then, I knew that tube did not split and all that. So I ended up ordering another kit. I don't know what my second kit was, but I got another kit and I did it and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it a lot. And so I got a couple more kits, and they were fun and just easy for me to do. I wasn't having to fight that yarn, and it was bringing my love for crochet back. I was enjoying it. I was loving it. I couldn't wait to do the next wooble. Okay, so I just really enjoyed it a lot. And I realized that, it's the yarn, the tube yarn, that was making crocheting easier for me. And so I bought some tube yarn, and I have it in a drawer right over here. So I do have a little collection of some tube yarn, and I've enjoyed using it on projects. I have the Wooble book also, and I've done a lot of the characters that's in that book. I've crocheted them also, and I do realize that I can use that tube yarn on any pattern, which you would want to use it on smallish patterns and not a humongous character. You wouldn't want to do something that's going to be really, really big. You'd rather do a little small with that yarn, because the yarn, it's not $2 or $3 a skein, okay? But it is worth it. It is worth it to me. And so, to be able to crochet. And so, anyway, Woobles also has the cutest little characters. They do. They have some cute, cute characters, and they're always coming out with new ones. So it's not like I'm going to crochet all of them up and then run out of things to crochet, because they're always coming out with something new. But the thing that really works for me is because I'm chronically ill. I have several diseases that just limit me, and sometimes it's hard for me to just move about my home. I can make it, here to the bathroom and stop at my desk and sit and crochet and then come back to my chair here. So, some days that is all I can do is the bathroom and go to the bathroom and back. And then some days if I feel up to it, I sit at my desk and I crochet. Because I'm passing that in that path. I don't have it in myself to go find a project, hunt down the yarns that I need for that project. I just don't have it in myself to do that anymore, and that's hard. It's hard to admit that I'm just not, I'm not buzzing around my house going and looking for this yarn or this yarn and putting those yarn together to get the project. I'm not, at this time of my life, I'm not able to go searching for my supplies. Okay? So when I do a Woobles kit, all the supplies are in that package for me. All I have to do is open the package and get going. That is just a blessing for me. It makes it so much easier for me, and therefore I'm still able to crochet. I'm able to create these cute little characters that bring me such happiness, and I have them sitting around on my desk, and they each have names, and they're as I'm crocheting them, their little personalities just, come to life there. And it's just cute. They're cute. I love cutesy stuff. If you've been here any time at all, I love cuteness. The cuter, I can't resist. But anyway, I wanted to give you that little testimony of my interactions with the Wooble projects. And I know that some people, I get a lot of comments saying they're expensive. And so Big Daddy said, your response to that should be that you're worth it. So my response to that is, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. That price is very much worth it for me to be able to crochet and do something that I enjoy, and my craft of choice that I love to do. Woobles is allowing me to continue that, to be honest, because if I had to fight with a full weight yarn again, I don't think I would do it. I really wouldn't. It's just too hard. It is. And so anyway, I was sitting here the other day. I was just laid back here in my chair. Big Daddy came in and he said, your box of Woobles came. And I thought, what? And he said, yeah, your box of Woobles. It's here on the piano. And so I was thinking, I did order some Woobles, but I just ordered them. And I was like, how did it get here so fast? I was just like, there's no way my Woobles came. They would have had to jet it over here, okay? And so I just sat here a little while later because I didn't get up. I waited until I needed to go to the restroom. And then I got up, and after I was coming back, I saw the box, and I was like, what is in here? And so I got the scissors and my little box cutter thing, and I started opening the box. And as I opened the lid, I see things in there, and I'm like, my first thought was, oh, they sent this to the wrong address. And then my brain kicked in, how am I going to get this back to the post office to send it back to them? So that was my second thought, and my brain's just thinking about, I gotta get this back to the post office to send it back to Woobles because they sent it to the wrong address. And then I happened to see a card in there, and I reached in and I pulled that card out. And so I want to share that with you guys. This is what was in there. And I may get emotional. I'm trying not to get emotional, okay? And in here it said, it starts off and it says, "Hi Kayla, Team Woobles here. Reaching out to say," I can't read it. I can't read it. I'm gonna start crying. I hate that. I wish I could read it and not cry. But it's saying that that the Wooble community are inspired by your perseverance and talent. We've lately had several Wooblers write us to share how much you've inspired them. Thank you. If you did email Woobles, thank you. I never expected this. Like, I never expected anything like this. I never would expect anybody to email Woobles and tell them I was crocheting Woobles or anything like that. Like, I've been crocheting Woobles and Woobles don't know who I am. This led us to look up and watch your videos. And Kayla, the determination and passion behind your story demonstrates what it means to be woobly better than we could ever describe it. A small thank you for reminding our team and Woobler community what it means to wooble through life. We wanted to send you some extra goodies to enjoy while you work on your advent calendar. Wooble on, Team Woobles. Okay, so I read the highlights of it. I might have left out a couple of sentences here and there, but I read the highlights of the card. I was like, what? I mean, I was blown away, okay? I never expected to receive a card from the Woobles or a box. So I want to share with you what Woobles sent me. First off, they sent me this very nice canvas bag. I'm talking, this bag is so nice. This is not a cheap bag, okay? This is a very nice bag. It has long straps so that you could carry it on your shoulder. I'm just trying to give you the details of it. Here, on the sides is those things right there. You could run your yarn out of that. It has these straps right here you can carry it, and that is very nice, like a leather handle on these straps. And then on the front side we see Pierre, and he is in the pocket. I don't know how well you can see that, but he's down in the pocket and his little flippers are hanging out. This is a very nice heavy duty bag. It is not any kind of cheap bag whatsoever. It is very nice, and it's very large. You saw me holding it up. It holds a lot, okay? There's a pocket on each of the sides inside it. There's a pocket over here and a pocket over here. And then on the back side, there are pockets for hooks and a bigger pocket for, you know, whatever you want to put in it. There's different size pockets. And then on the inside tag, I'm sorry, I just trying to show you like all the details. It says Woobles on this tag on the inside. And so it is a very nice bag, right? This isn't the only thing that was in the bag. There was lots of packages in the bag, and I just stuck everything in this bag so I could keep it together to show you guys. and just, say how much I appreciate it. Okay, this bag was also in there. And it's a cute little bag too. There's Jojo and Felix and Pierre on the front. And that is a pocket. It's a deep pocket. It goes all the way to the bottom. And you can see it says Woobles. And the front of it, you can put lots of Wooble hooks in here. Lots of Wooble hooks. And so I hadn't even counted to see how many, but you can see it's a bunch. And then it has this little handle right here if you want to hold it by that handle. And then also there's another pocket, another zipper area, and it's very roomy in there. And on the back side of it, there's two pockets back here. And so it also, let me see if I can zip that up. It's cute and colorful. I like that. I like colorful stuff. Sorry about my dog barking. She wanted to tell her thanks to Woobles too, because she knows it keeps her mama happy. I hadn't done this yet, but let me see if I can undo it now. I was trying to just save everything to show you guys. Okay, so it has this Wooble strap. And it has a hook that goes over here. Let me see if I can do it. It looks like I might just be able to push it. Oh yeah, got it. So you can resize this. It has the little things on it where you can size it, and you can make it like a crossbody bag or a shoulder bag, whichever one you like the best. And then on this it says "Woobling every day." That's me. Woobling every day. Every day I'm woobling. That's what it says. I'm sorry, I saw it on the other side. Every day I'm woobling. That is awesome. That is so cute. So I love that little bag too. And then they also gave me this Woobles hat. It's got Woobles on the back. And there's Fred, there's Nico, Pierre, Nikki, Felix, Gertrude, Cornelius, I can't say his name, Billy, and Sebastian, Jerry. They're just all on here. And it is so cute too. So there's my Wooble hat. And then let's see what else is in this bag. Like I said, I put everything in here because I didn't want to lose anything. I mean, I didn't want to have to go gather it back up. It was easier to just have it here to share, until I shared it. Then I can use them and put them in different places. And then I got these keychains. I got one with Fred on it. Isn't he cute? I have made Fred in pink. He's on my desk. And then here's one with Nikki on it. Or is it Kiki? Kiki. I think it's Kiki. The chick. I'm sorry about that. And then there's Pierre. And I really like that. And the other side says Woobles. And this one says my first Wooble. This one says every day I'm woobling. And this one says proud woobler. Awesome. And then there was a package of these bags in here. There is, they got Woobles on one side, and the other side It says, love ya. These are nice little gift bags if you're going to make Woobles and give to someone as a gift. Happy holidays. Happy birthday. Congratulations. And a get well bag. Get well. Those are also very cute. I love those. Those will be cute little gift bags to make a Wooble and give to someone as a gift. So I'm going to roll them up so they don't get creased. And I'm going to stick them back in this bag for now until I take them back yonder. Also, they sent me their very colorful, lovely Wooble hat. And it has all the characters on here. It's a bucket hat with all the Wooble characters. This would be great to go fishing in. Not that I've been. If I was going to be out in the sun and needed something to block the sun, this would be perfect. It has all the cute little characters on there, and they're just so adorable. I've looked at these and looked at these, and so when I got that card and I kind of saw what was in the box, I hadn't even opened it all the way yet. I ran in there to Big Daddy as much as I can run. I went in there to Big Daddy and showed him the card, and he read it, and he was smiling really big, and he was like, "You're kidding me." And I'm like, "No, that's what that box was you brought in." And so he got up and come to see the box and helped me open it on up and get the stuff out of it, and he was just as shocked as I was. I am very, very shocked. And so I want to say thank you, Woobles. That was so unexpected, and I appreciate that very, very much. I do love the Woobles. The Woobles kits gave me back my love for crochet and allowed me to crochet without frustration. And it also, I don't have to go around my house hunting up my crochet supplies, because if I had to wait until I could do that, it may be days or weeks before I could ever start a project, because I'm just not up running around my house. I've had come to the realization that that's not me anymore. And so trying to adjust to the new me with my health, every time I have a setback or surgery or something to happen, I have to adjust to the new me and kind of just, let my mind sit on it a while, and then I'm able to adjust to what I need to do to carry on with life. Like, I still want to do these things, but let's make it the easiest for me. And so that is what Woobles kits have done for me, and I appreciate that so very much. I appreciate your card here. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate the items that you did send me. And also, I want to say thank you to my friends who emailed Woobles and shared my story, or I don't know what you shared. I really don't know what you shared, but thank you for sharing about me to Woobles. I don't know. I didn't know that you were inspired to do that. I do know that someone recently told me that they ordered the Halloween house, and that she did let Woobles know that I inspired her to order it. So thank you so much. I just appreciate that so very much. I had no idea that all this was going on behind the scenes. But anyway, I'm very grateful to you taking the time to do that. That just blows me away. It really does. And so, anyway, that's my Woobles testimony and how I came to enjoy the Woobles so much. And I done fell in love with them by now. And so just enjoying them. I'm just enjoying the Woobles. And as Big Daddy said, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I can't imagine just sitting here not having anything to do, like not having a hobby, not having something for my mind to focus on. I just can't imagine. I mean, I don't have a lot going on in my life. Sorry, sorry. I don't have a lot going on in my life, but at least I have the Woobles. That sounds so silly, but it's the truth. It's the truth. At least I have the Woobles to help me continue to crochet and have something to do. I have always been an artsy person. I used to paint before I got so ill. This painting right behind me, that was one of the last paintings that I did. And I don't know how well you can see it, but that's one of my last art pieces that I did create. I've always been just very creative and enjoyed art and crocheting as a form of art. I always put my spin on things. Sometimes I don't follow the Woobles instructions to a T. Sometimes I might just vary a little bit off of that and do my own thing. Sometimes I might add a little extra something to it. I kind of create it and then give it my little touch because that's the way I am. On this card right here, it says Woobles. Learn to crochet kit for beginners. And so what I want to say is the Wooble kits are not just for beginners. The Woobles kits are for people who can't see well and might need to be able to see the stitches a bit better than crocheting with a 4-weight yarn or a 3 yarn or even a smaller yarn. Sometimes you just can't see those stitches if you have vision issues. But with the Woobles yarn, the stitches are very easy to see, and you can see right where to stick your hook. So the yarn is also good for that. The Woobles kits are also good for people who are bedridden or in a chair and just can't get up and run around the house looking for supplies and gathering up all these supplies that they need to crochet a project, looking for the different colors of yarn they need, stitch markers, getting the right hook, going and getting their stuffing and all that kind of stuff. If you're not able to do all that kind of stuff, and you just need it to be easy, the Wooble kits, it has everything you need in the kit. You don't have to go looking around your house. So the Wooble kits are not just for beginners. It's also for seasoned crocheters who have trouble with vision. And also if you have trouble with your tension and you're fighting it because your yarn's splitting and all that kind of stuff, yeah, the Wooble kits, they're not just for beginners. They're to help anyone who wants to crochet and can't because they have whatever stopping health issues and just stopping them from, enjoying crocheting because they got to go around and get all their stuff and all that kind of stuff. Seriously, for me, I know a lot of times people just say, hey, why don't you do such and such, which makes perfectly sense if you're not sick. I really just don't have the energy to do the simplest little things. Like, I can't even think of an example right now, but I know oftentimes people say to me, why don't you do this, or just do this, or go get this, I wish. if you're not sick, that doesn't sound like a big deal. But when you're sick and you can barely get out of this chair, you may as well just ask me to go build a pyramid in the desert, or, you know, honestly, because that's what it would be like for me. And so, just making it easy. If you need it to be easy, then Woobles is for you. If you have vision issues and you can't see your yarn, the stitches anymore. Now, I still can't see black yarn, okay? No more kits with black yarn. But honestly, okay, and so I also am going to be crocheting the 2025 Christmas Advent calendar. I have not opened it. It's still sealed all the way. It's sealed. I have not opened it, and I'm not going to open it until I start it, which will be probably the day after Thanksgiving or something like that. I'll be starting that. But it's my first time to, you know, do the Christmas Advents. And so now, after I've kind of learning about Woobles, I find out they've had these Advent calendars for many years now. Like 3 or 4 years, maybe? I don't know. But I never even looked at them or paid attention to them. And so I got the haunted house one, and I've been enjoying it all the way. And now I toyed with the idea. I was like, well, I don't know if I should get it or not. And Big Daddy was like, get it. And so I was like, okay. So anyway, I just wanted to share that little bit with you guys. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you so very much for being here. I know there's tons and tons of YouTube channels out there. You could have clicked on any video today, and you chose to click on my video, and I appreciate you giving some of your precious time to me. It means a lot to me, guys. Thank you. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you all have a blessed day. Remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet. Bye, friends.